Hey Alec, how's it going?
Hey, it's going pretty well. You know what they say?
Yes,
An
all's
an
well
apple.
that ends well.
Yeah, okay.
And
Also, don't accept strange invitations to hotels from strangers.
yeah, weird.
Yeah, they do
Uh,
say that.
we should start by saying how much have you played of this game? So
I'm about 7 hours in, maybe
same.
eight, 7 or 8 hours in. Yeah,
I'm on
I'm.
the eighth floor.
I think that's where I am too.
Oh,
Actually, is that is that the that you well you say what it is.
the the I forget what it's called. Oh, Paranormal Productions.
Yep, that's exactly where I am. Yep.
Beautiful,
Yeah, that's awesome.
purely
Oh wow,
coincidental.
we did not plan that at all.
Yeah,
Um, but
but that's it feels like enough to be able to judge this game.
it's for sure. I think so.
I already hate it. I've only played it
Oh
for 7 hours because I want to get it done with.
yeah, it sucks. What a terrible game. Nintendo should just give up making games.
I was
They,
kind of curious if they were gonna add like more features down the line, so that we're like gonna miss out on now talking about it.
I
Um,
I don't think so. And to be honest, that's okay.
yeah, that's okay. But I
Yeah.
just know in past games they'll do stuff like fire bending and ice
Yeah.
bending, that kind of stuff. But uh, great game, I think.
Yeah. I was actually this is I will admit this is actually my very first Luigi's Mansion game. I have the I don't have my copy. I have the original game somewhere kicking somewhere
Three.
around here.
There's a big
There's a big old three on it.
three.
There's a big three. I slept on the first
Shit.
game. We didn't see. Here's the thing. At our GameCube launch, we got Super Smash Bros. Melee and Star Wars Rogue Squadron, Rogue Leader, I should
Two.
say.
Okay.
Yeah, Rogue Squadron 2, Rogue Leader. So I didn't play the most I had played of Luigi's Mansion, still probably to this day, is at a demo at a Walmart demo kiosk, and that's about it. I haven't played very much of the game. I look forward to going back to it eventually. I know I'm going
Okay.
to be spoiled by this game now because they do some really nice changes in this game from what I understand, based on some of the mechanics and quality of life changes, I
Yeah,
guess you could say.
I think
So
the other one still holds up. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
and I think this is definitely a better direction than Dark Moon took it.
yeah,
I'm someone who's played all the Luigi's Mansion games. You haven't played any of them, so we got two
yeah,
different perspectives here.
yeah. I've heard really good stuff about Dark Moon. My brother said that he really enjoyed that game a lot. I've heard some complaints about it as well, but I've heard overall it's still a good game.
It's
Um,
solid. I think just the fundamentals of Luigi's Mansion are really good for a
yeah,
game. Just the whole um,
I like the fixed perspective a lot. I think it works extremely well. It's almost like you're looking into a dollhouse kind
hmm
of,
yeah,
and I think that works like really well with set pieces and just level design in general. Because you can hide all sort of little bits and pieces around as long as you're exploring and you're using the vacuum around the poltergust around everywhere, and you can hide a lot of little cool stuff in there
yeah.
with that.
Just the act of the poltergeist using it, where it translates like through all the games works really well. I just think
Hmm.
in Dark Moon they kind of lost a lot of the specific character stuff. They became kind of like a lot of generic ghosts.
Oh, okay.
Um, like how you'll notice they have the boss ghosts in here where they have like their own gimmicks that you
Oh,
have to
they're
do.
they're amazing.
Yeah,
Every single one of them I've loved. They're all really well designed.
yeah, which is
But
great, and it's kind of like a callback to the original. It's something a lot of
mhm,
people liked that they didn't really have as much in Dark Moon, and there wasn't like these great characters, like actual different like outfits and whatnot
yeah,
for the ghosts. So that was definitely a good return to form. I mean, I like the whole hotel aspect too. It's like a clear like progression.
yeah.
You can see clear progression and everything.
I like even though all the floors are themed in a different way. I like how you're still going into rooms and being like, oh, this is like a hotel bathroom.
Yeah.
It has like all the extra stuff, the accoutrement of the floor, like the theme, but it still feels like a hotel the whole time.
And you can interact with almost everything, and a lot of it's a destructible environment too. It's
Mm-hmm.
cool. I
Mm-hmm.
always like that, but I'm like one of the people who has to like to go through everything in the room.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have to do that too,
can't leave
and
anything
it's
unturned.
yeah, yeah.
I'm literally just cleaning up trash by the end of it. I'm like, I gotta clean up this room now. Clean up
Oh,
all
you know
this.
what? When you first got the poltergeist, I was just going around cleaning, like sucking mice up the whole time. I was just
Yeah,
going around because it was funny to me. I was laughing the whole time because it just makes this nice thump
it's a nice
noise when
noise. Yeah,
you pull, and it's just like this is great. Like because it was again, this is my first Luigi's Mansion game, so like it was just like I felt like giddy. I was just having so much fun just going around the parking garage in the hotel and just
yeah.
like sucking dust up and stuff. I was just having so much fun.
So like one of the new features to this game is the ability to slam the ghosts, which you couldn't do
Super
before.
cool.
Which kind of like I don't know how I feel about it in comparison to previous games because it makes it a lot easier to suck up ghosts, like because you're like
Yeah.
taking health away from others at the same time.
Mhm.
When they kind of like combo into each other, you're sucking all these ghosts up real quick. What used to be like, especially when it got to boss ghosts and stuff, it'd be like a real endurance match to get all their health down, and you have to keep just resisting the suck.
Mhm.
You know, it's a fun feature, but it also kind of takes away a little bit of the difficulty, but it works.
I suppose. There were because yeah, there was a few times I was like, I'm gonna try doing this without the slam, and it just honestly, it's just kind of like, all right. I the thing that I really like about the slam is that it you're not just slamming the ghost, you also destroy stuff in the environment too.
Yeah,
Um, so there's a real like a world tangibility effect to it, if I can whatever that is that I just made up.
hmm
Um, but it makes it feel like you're really interacting with them in the world, I guess. I don't know.
yeah,
I kind of agree with you. I think in the sense that the game's not very difficult, but I'm not sure that I care that much. I guess there's part of it where I do wish there was a little bit more of a challenge, but I will say there was the last boss was quite a bit longer than any of the other ones. It was the Maestro.
hmm
That one lasted quite a bit longer than any of the other ones. And so I'm hoping that will continue. That some of the boss battles will continue to be lengthier like that.
right.
Because it feels more varied when you get to when the bosses have more attacks than just the normal one that they're doing.
And they are doing a lot of creative stuff with the different
Oh,
uh,
unbelievably,
gameplay
yeah,
mechanics. Are all like every mechanic's being utilized, which is impressive. A lot of times there's like this feature that you don't really use so much, but I'm noticing like every button is being used, and all these different moves are going to come into
yeah,
play in almost every floor.
yep, yeah,
Like you have this kind of like shockwave tremor thing that you can do now, where you get ZL and ZR.
and you jump up too.
Yeah, and that kind of
Yeah,
helps to like destroy stuff around you.
yeah,
So
yeah. I liked how that's used either to destroy stuff or disturb stuff off the walls, and then I also used it to jump over. You had to use it to jump over
yeah,
stuff, and it's like I love how that's used in different way. That's used in different ways.
and
Yeah.
then they kind of have that thing where you can materialize stuff if you hold the X button.
Hmm.
Like if you notice there's like a clearly missing door in a frame, kind of that's when that'll come into play.
Hmm.
That was a Dark Moon thing they brought over.
Oh,
Um,
okay. I
and
like that a
then
lot.
yeah, that's pretty cool. And the big thing they're pushing marketing obviously is Guigi. That's the new thing
Yeah.
in this game. So how do you feel about Guigi?
Luigi is quite charming, and I like him a lot. I like how he's simple, like all because you can only really use him in a room at a time. Like you can't like have him stay in one room and then Luigi goes to another room completely,
Yeah,
unless the rooms are like tied together. So I like that because it's not overly complicated, but I like how it forces you to sometimes think a little bit more outside the box. I know I put this game down a couple of times and then come back to it maybe like a week later or a few days later, and then I find myself getting stuck for a couple minutes and being like, "What am I supposed to do?" And I was like, "Oh, of course, I've got Luigi. I can just have him go in somewhere, and probably I'm missing something. And I go back around, and it's like, oh yes, there's a grate I can go through here.
Yeah.
Um,
And
I like that.
and a small thing I really like is that in the menu it'll tell you your current objective. That's
Mhm.
something I always appreciate in the game because like if you
Yeah,
don't, sometimes I'll just not play a game for a couple weeks
yeah,
and I'll want to, especially or longer, and especially with a game like Luigi's Mansion, you don't want to have to restart it, you know, like
yeah.
which is what I'll have to do a lot with RPGs and stuff. But like I always appreciate games that tell you the current objective so you can hop right
Hmm.
back in. It's not like you have to really be aware of where you were
Yeah.
because it's like, oh, just go put this in the elevator or go to explore this area, so you immediately know where you need to go. Yeah, I think Luigi's pretty cool. They do some cool unique things with that too. I really liked the whole, it was kind of like a little shopping area
Oh yeah,
sequence. I really liked that where you had to send Luigi and do all this stuff.
yeah. That was an early highlight. That floor I think was super solid at showing you this is what you're going to be using Luigi to do stuff like this. Yeah, I loved that floor. It was very fun.
Yeah,
Um,
and I found like a lot of the characters to be very expressive in this game too. Like
the
Luigi is super expressive.
the animation this game like shocks me like how good this game looks. The switch can, if put in the right hands. uh this is Next Level Games, I think, is was the dev team behind this.
Oh really?
Yep. And they killed it, man. It looks amazing. The lighting looks really good. The characters are all very expressive. The animation is fantastic, not just on Luigi, but like all the ghosts look really great. I really loved the beginning sequence of the game where you could just go around and like talk to Mario, and Mario's like eyeing out like the cakes and the
Oh
stuff,
yeah.
and he's just like, Mario's just like can't wait to eat this food, and he looks over and he goes like, "Hey, bro," and then he like goes back to his stuff, and
Yeah,
the toads you like mess over, and like one of them topples all the luggage
Mhm.
over. Oh, it's so charming and fun.
The whole sequence kind of took me by surprise because it's not really a Luigi's Mansion thing to do either. Like
Yeah,
usually, right as you get into it, you're immediately thrust into like Mario's been captured or whatever it was
yeah,
in whatever game, and then you immediately have the poltergeist and you know what you got to do. But this one, it's like you're just going into the hotel, feeling it out.
Is your little ghost dog, was he from the first game or was he from Dark Moon?
He's from Dark Moon.
I think he is so cute, and
Yeah.
I want one. Yeah, I like that. I like that character.
Yeah.
I don't know what his name is, but he's cute.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
We'll call him Woof.
Oh yeah. Also, I didn't get a chance to do any of the multiplayer stuff yet.
Yeah, I haven't really either.
So there's,
Is it network? Is it like network play? Like, can I play it with you? I think you can, if memory
I
serves.
thought so.
Yeah, we should try. We should try to do that sometime. I haven't gotten a chance to do any of the multiplayer either. I was going to when I was visiting friends down in Rhode Island recently, but
Mhm.
never got around to it.
So you have Scarescraper, which is something from Dark Moon they brought over. I never really played
Mhm.
much in Dark Moon either, which
Mhm.
I believe is the multiplayer online thing. And then there's also something called Scream Park, which looks like kind of like mini games maybe.
Yeah,
It's kind of little thing I remember from the trailer a while ago. They had something like that, and I
Yeah.
think that's probably local multiplayer only.
okay.
And there's
Yeah, I
also the
haven't really
option to
delved
do
too much. into that stuff.
Co-op with Luigi also, which
Yeah.
where someone just plays as Luigi.
I feel like that's gonna just break the game. I think you can do that in Luigi's Mansion on 3DS, if memory serves. Can you
like,
do that on?
the remake?
Yeah,
the
I think
original?
so.
Mm,
Yeah,
Maybe.
I thought there was something like that where it just like completely breaks the game basically. In both the fact that it's way easier, and also in the fact that it breaks the game.
Actually
like
breaks the game.
the frame rate just like is like horrible after
Yeah,
when you do that.
One thing I
but-
noticed about this game is that it's not like perfectly polished. In that, like, I'll just see stuff like flipping out sometimes.
yeah,
And,
that's true.
And like, I'll see,
Yeah,
I saw a mouse just like get caught on something, and then it acts like it doesn't exist.
Yeah,
And I'm like, what is going on here? It's like
Yeah,
kind of
there's
glitchy
yeah.
at times, but
yeah. There's some funky stuff in there. Yeah, that's
nothing,
true.
nothing that's affected the gameplay at least yet.
No, I think overall the physics for other than like strange glitches aside, the physics in this game are like are great.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Oh,
I don't
oh
know
yeah.
if there's any like holdover from like Breath of the Wild or anything like that. If there's any like assets with like gravity or stuff, but
Mm.
like whatever Nintendo's doing this generation with that kind of stuff, they're great job, great
Mm.
job.
I forgot there was the whole plunger feature too, which didn't exist
Oh
before.
yeah, yeah, I love that thing.
You
That
shoot the plunge, and
shooting the
it's
plunger.
cool
Yeah,
because it's not like always obvious and like you need to do to progress the storyline. A lot of times it'll just be stuff that you can just stick a plunger on and break for the heck of it, and I'll have some goodies in there.
yeah.
So I like
So
that kind of stuff where it's like if you're just thinking of all these mechanics that you can
mhm.
utilize them.
Yeah, to get money. Wahaha.
Yeah,
So okay, so Egad, I love him. He's a great character.
yeah.
Um,
Did you notice his running animation when he follows you, like in the beginning? It's great.
oh yeah, where he's just like
His like
toddling along. Yeah,
his head's all the way
flop
back.
back. Oh, that was actually one glitch that happened at the
Oh.
beginning of the game when he first starts following you.
Mm-hmm.
He would not follow me. He was like spazzing out on
Oh
the
no.
on the front platform. He was just like going back and forth like really fast. I was like, oh no, oh what is happening? And so I hurried out of the room, and then he finally followed me, and like that finally fixed itself. But I was
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, what is happening?
I will say one thing I'm not a huge fan of in this game is the controls in some aspects, like aiming aiming things I find to be annoying sometimes. I don't know if that's just me sucking, but like having to aim the like especially in like some of the boss battles, having to aim the plunger. It's not like it's not really good for like quick response time because you have to kind of angle it awkwardly, and especially
Yeah,
it's like you have to balance gyro controls, also like the right control stick. They both do move
yeah.
the same things.
I'm off and on it. I think for a little bit it takes a little bit to get used to because the control scheme is locked as if you were always controlling Luigi, and of course when you're, I think you can actually change that a little bit in the control scheme. I don't really remember, but because of if you're facing the screen, it's going to be opposite of what you're used to.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes that can be a little funky, but yeah, I think with most bosses, I actually found this in the last one. I think it actually auto aims when you're grabbing something and you have to fire it. I think for the most part, if you're facing their general direction, it will kind of auto like help you sort of assist
Hmm.
where you're aiming. Um, yeah, I'm kind of with you there. I really like, however, I love the gyro controls. I like gyro for aiming and stuff a lot of time, and I think it's implemented well in this game.
Okay. I
Um,
actually
it is a little awkward at times though.
I
I will
turn
agree
off
with
I
you.
turn off the gyro most of the time. Actually,
Oh, okay,
I'm like
all right.
because it's kind of I feel it's awkward because you can't move in all directions. It's like only up and down gyro, right? And it's like when you're in the middle of doing something like with the flashlight or sucking
But
with the poltergust.
yeah, well the thing I like about that though is I can go up and down and I can do left and right with the right stick. You know.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that, but
Okay. Well, each to their own.
yeah.
I can understand. I can understand that though, for sure.
Overall, I think it's great though. I mean, it's like
Yeah, I think this is a super solid, fantastic. Well, not fantastic, but it's an incredibly solid, very very fun, mostly polished game.
yeah,
Like honestly, I've had so much fun with it.
yeah.
I always have a smile on my face when I'm playing it. It's Luigi's Mansion is kind of the game series that gave Luigi his personality.
Hmm.
I would say the fact they really lean into that, and they really do a great job of making you feel that Luigi is the reluctant, brave yet very 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 frightened by basically everything hero, and I like that.
Hmm.
Um,
And you still have a button that you can press to say Mario's
Mario,
name.
Mario.
Mario.
Yeah, and like yeah, how when something like happens or jumps out, he like walks like really stiff. Sometimes he's like
Hmm.
going into rooms and he's walking really stiff. I love that.
At first, I was kind of bothered by the fact you can't run. Like you can't. There's not a run button.
Yeah,
It's kind of like you pick up, you accelerate, you pick up speed if you keep running.
Mhm.
but I don't mind it so much because
Mhm.
I'm not like trying to speed through it so much. I
Yeah,
like collecting every little thing I can find.
it's also not like it. Everything is pretty. It's jam packed. Nothing's really overly spread out in this game, so I never feel the need that. I don't feel like that I'm missing anything by not being able to run everywhere.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah.
All right, so what score would you give it out of
I
10?
think I'm gonna give this game a 9. I think.
Whoa,
I think. What is it? Is
that's a
that way
great
too? Is that
score.
way too high? It is a great score. Like I said, I'm very charmed by this game. I don't think it's perfect, um, but I'm having so much fun. I wish there was a little bit more stuff to spend your money on, but I have a feeling that I'm going to be
Right.
I'm going to be going and collecting everything in this game. That's definitely something I'm going to do. So I'll find those hidden boo things and the hidden gems things very hidden gems.
Mhm.
The hidden gems things will be useful. Those finders. So I'll probably be using those later on. But yeah, I have a smile on my face. I'm very satisfied by this game. So a 9. Yes,
All right.
I think it's super solid, and I love it.
I'd say 8.5 out of 10.
Okay.
That's where I'm
Whoa!
at. uh,
I was kind of leaning 8.5, but just the fact that like I am literally smiling every time I'm playing this game. I mean,
mhm.
a lot of games I'm just kind of like that, and I like laugh and enjoy it. But like this
You're,
one, I'm just like I'm always smiling pretty much.
you're supposed to be scared, though. It's a horror game.
Oh yeah, I'm terrified. I mean, I'm so spooked.
I would
Yeah.
say it's probably the best, shaping up to be the best Luigi's Mansion. And like the original Luigi's Mansion is solid in terms of like it was a great way to introduce all the gameplay mechanics and everything. But there's like not much content at all.
Does it be
Like
like does it really have much replay value other than just be like I'm gonna pop it in and beat it because it's
yeah,
super.
not really.
Yeah.
In the first, there's not too much to collect in the first one, and we would have like easily been done the game by now in the first
Yeah.
one. It's like only a few hours to beat.
Yeah.
And then Dark Moon had a lot more content, but I feel like this one will definitely be comparable with that one, and like it's got a lot of content, and then also introducing a lot of gameplay mechanics and cool, unique utilization of that in each
It also
room.
it also has its own achievement list, which will also
Oh
continue to
yes,
increase game time, which I really like that. I like, I part of me wishes Nintendo would implement their own like
yeah, really.
out of game system, because I it's very satisfying to hear the achievement unlocked or the trophy pop on the other systems, but
Yeah,
there is still something very satisfying even having an in-game route. I'm glad they're they at least have that.
yeah. There's
So
no
it's
reason by now Nintendo should not have achievements. Like
yeah, I don't
Nintendo,
know.
more than anyone, would be like the most fun achievements. I feel like
Yeah.
to like in Mario games, being able to do stuff, and like Breath of the Wild. There's so much stuff you could put in there.
And I'm sure they could call it whatever, Nintendo points. Like, I don't know. They could
Yeah,
probably come up with something. Yeah.
they've had a couple of games like this, and now like the new Animal Crossing is supposed to have some sort of achievement-esque thing as well.
Mm.
It's like they work it into every now and then these achievements, but they don't want to stick to it consistently.
Yeah.
That would have been nice though.
Yeah.
All right, so 8.75 out of 10.
It's a
Tarqaron score.
definite recommend. I'm definitely going to be beating this game and probably completing it as well. It's very fun, and I like it a lot.
Play it on Halloween.
I did. I was able to. It was cool. We didn't get any trick or treaters, but I
Yeah.
get to play Luigi's Mansion. So
All right, thank you for watching.
hey, catch you later.
We're at